Howdy champs, my name is Mohit and people, welcome back to part 2 of using add class and remove class to affect a color animation. And I told you that in the second part I'm going to code out for those people who found it pretty difficult just by me explaining the code verbatim. And so I would want to push in the code slowly and explain one by one exactly what I'm doing out here. Okay, so people, I'm using HTML5 out here. I've already saved the document, I've already titled it out. Okay, and let's start. I'm going to use jQuery UI, which is built on top of the main jQuery. Okay, to reference the packages jQuery and jQuery UI, I would need CDN. I can use it as a physical file too, but I prefer using CDN or Content Delivery Network to reference these two files. Let me just get it for you people. Okay, so just after the title tag goes, I'm gonna push in a couple of lines out here, the opening closing script tags, which are gonna actually reference the latest jQuery package 1.9.1.js and the jQuery UI package, which is 1.10.3 jQuery UI.js file. Okay, these are the latest jQuery packages or jQuery UI packages. Very cool. Okay, and I also need to have an external JS file people that I'm gonna code out from the very beginning. So in line number 9 I should have another script tag going, script type text JavaScript. So there goes, and then the source people. Since I don't have that external file ready, I'm going to call it ext.js or whatever you would want to name it. Okay, and let's close the script tag up like so. Very cool. Okay, before I actually have this file going, I need to have a div that I need to animate. So let's click on this plus button to create a new CSS rule, and then yes, I'm going to define a class for my division. Let it be, let's say dot effect. Okay, let's say okay, and then I can give it any size actually. Don't have to be very strict about that. Let's say 240. I can skip the height, I can just keep it auto, and the background I can keep as let's say this much. This one, let's go with the color, let's keep it this one. Okay, let's go with the border. In fact, I can skip the border altogether, don't really need it. Okay, so let's say okay. Our class effect is actually ready. As you can see out here, this is the color, this is the background color, this is the height, and this is the width. So I should actually now push in a div inside the opening closing body tag. So we have a div going out here. The class obviously is gonna be effect, right? And let's close the div tag up out here, and let's see things in action after saving the changes. Let's say file and a save all, and let's bring up the browser, Google Chrome. Gonna come up any moment now. Okay, the div has not appeared as yet. Let me think why. Okay, quite clearly we don't have any content inside. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to the previous file and get some text from there. I just need any text people. Just copy it up from there and push it inside the opening and the closing div tags. Okay, let's save things up. Let's preview it up once again. So this time things should be fine. The div should appear. Okay, quite clearly the div actually makes an appearance right now. Very cool. Let's minimize. I'm gonna go back to the same class again people, and let's push in some padding as well. Let's say 10px all around. Okay, let's say file and a save. Let's bring up the browser and let's refresh. Okay, that's better. And how about some margin too? Okay, go to the box category. Let's say, in fact, a top of 100 and a left of 100. Okay, let's say okay. Let's say file and a save. Bring the browser up. Let's refresh, and yes, it'll be quite easy to see it now. Okay, let's minimize. And just after the div tag, people, I'd like to push in a button. So we should have the input tag going out here. Type set to a button. Okay, the value or the label could be anything. Run effect. Okay, and yes, I need an ID. I need to give it an ID to reference the button. So the ID of let's say button. Very cool. Okay, and let's say file and a save out here. Let's bring up the browser. Let's refresh the browser. Okay, very cool. Now we have the button going too. Let's push the button onto the right as well. So I'm gonna click out here. Click on the plus button, people. Create an ID style or an ID rule, which is going to be internal or embedded. Okay, not an external style sheet. I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to go where the box is, and where we have the margin, I'm going to say left margin of, let's say, 100 px, and let's say file and a save. Let's take up a browser preview. Okay, very cool. The button is now just under the div, and between the two, the div and the button, people, let's push in a couple of BR tags. Okay, double line break, that is. So I'm gonna say BR / and just copy this and paste it again. File and a save. Okay, very cool. So now whatever I needed to do with the HTML document seems to be actually done, except that I need to create two classes, new class and new class 1. Let's go about it. So let's click on this plus button and have the new class going. Okay, that I need to add and remove later on. And as far as the new class is concerned, let's go with the a background color of, let's say, this color, and a foreground or font color of, let's say, ghost white. Right, and let's say okay. And people, you see this new class is actually popped up out here. Color ghost white, background color #060. Let me just copy this class up like so. Control C, let's push it out here. Control V, just change the name to new class 1 and change the color ghost white to the color, I think it was corn silk. Okay, and the background color to, let me just go back to the file and check, chocolate. Okay, very cool. So this is gonna be chocolate. Alright, so we have the new class and the new class 1 pushing out here. Everything seems to be in order. Let's add some padding too out here. So padding of, let's say, a 5px can go out here. And let's take up a browser preview once again. Let's save the changes. Let's bring up the browser. Let's refresh, and due to the double line break, people out here can see that's actually spaced out. Not only that, as far as the the class effect is concerned, which is out here, let's add in text. Rather, let's go with font size, and let's go with the, how about 14px. Okay, file, save, browser, refresh the browser. How has the font actually shrunk? Let me just increase it further. Let's go with 18. Okay, file, save, bring up the browser. Let's refresh. Yes, I think I'll go with this size. Not at all bad. Okay, very cool. Um, Next up, people, I think everything that needed to be done with the HTML document has actually been accomplished, which means that I need to write out this ext.js file, which is actually not on the local hard disk right now, simply because I need to create it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to say a file and a new. I'm going to go with a new JavaScript file, and I'm going to give it a name, JavaScript document ext dot JS. Okay, so people, as always, let's first save it up and let's call it ext.js. Let's save it up. Okay, let's start to code out. I would want only after the document has actually initialized, after the DOM has initialized, when the document is actually ready, that the code should actually run inside. So let's do the document ready handler. And so I'm going to say $document dot ready. Okay, run a function. People, I wouldn't want to run an anonymous function. Rather, I would want to give it a name. You know, it just makes things very easy to understand and explain too. I'm going to call it, although this is not a necessary thing, people. Just makes it very easy for me to explain and you know, go back to my code and reference it. I'm deliberately giving it a name, kickoff. So that's when, you know, the main function, the ready event handler, actually kicks off. It ends out here. So I'm going to say end of kickoff function. Okay, just I'm not mentioning the function out here, so end of kickoff. Okay, very cool. So once you kick off, let's say file and a save, I would want the first class to be added, which is new class to be added on the click of a button. So I'm gonna write that as, let's show you how. I'm gonna say $. I'm gonna reference the button, people. This is how you'll write the selector for that. So it's a hash, and let's say file and a save again. Button okay, dot click. So when somebody actually clicks on this, right, I would want another function going, people, and let's name it I'm going to name all my functions, people. I just like that habit. Color animation, or whatever you would want in your case. Righty. So I'm gonna push in a comment out here which says end of color animation, obviously. Okay, so let's code out color animation. If somebody clicks on the button, file and a save. Yes, it's the ID's button. If somebody clicks on the button, then I would want, let's push in a $sign out here, and this time I'm gonna reference, I can put a single quotation mark too, and this time I'm gonna reference the class effect. Okay, and add the class class 1. What was that? Let me just check. It's new class, actually. This is the one. Okay, let's copy it up. Let's go back and let's add the class new class. Correct. And over 1000 milliseconds, I would want the animation to be having a linear easing, people, not a swing ease, a linear ease. Okay, the default is swing, but with linear the animation is always uniform all through the animation process. It's at one pace and never changing, as it is in swing. Swing is slow, then fast, then slow. Okay, very cool. And then I would want a callback function to be pushed in out here. So that's a function. I'm going to call it CB1. So that's callback function 1. And this is the syntax, people. Okay, and yepo. So end of CB1 out here. So end of callback function CB1 is out here. So okay, this is the way I should write it, and a semicolon out here. So end of CB1 out here. Let's see what should be inside CB1. But even before that, I would like to just save and test out whatever we have done so far. So let's bring up the browser and let's refresh. Let's click the run effect button, and the class has not been applied. Let me just think why. In fact, people, the class has been applied. Maybe I didn't click properly. Okay, quite clearly you can see that the background and the foreground colors actually change. The background color changes to that dark green color, and obviously the text color has changed too. So very cool. Let's minimize and continue coding the xt.js file. So the end of the callback function is out here. Now let's see what the function CB1 is going to look like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this bit, okay, this whole chunk of code, come out here, just a little indent it and push it out here. And I'm going to say, instead of add class, I'm going to say remove the class. So remove class, the class that I've actually added, I wish to remove it on the same div, which is the effective, over the same time period, 1000. The easing should be linear, the same uniform easing, never changing at the same pace, at the same rate. Okay, but this time I'm calling another callback function within a callback function. I'm going to call it callback 2. And this is where the CB2 or the callback 2 actually ends. I'm going to indent it a little like so. Let's just space out properly everywhere, so all the brackets have been balanced. So people, the class that I'd added, new class, I'm actually removing it in the CB1 function, or the callback 1 function, over the same time period, using the same easing, which in turn, CB1 or callback 1 function is calling yet another callback function, callback 2 function. Very cool. Okay, and now let's save things up and let's see how things have actually taken shape. So let's bring up the browser, let's refresh, and let's hit the run effect button. So people, you see, initially it's this set of colors, background and foreground. It changes over 1 second and goes back, reverts back to the way it was. Let me show it to you once again. So run the effect, the class is added, the class is removed, and we are back to square one. So very cool. Okay, now I have requested for a callback 2 function, a second callback function, and let's code that out. I'm going to copy this chunk of code. I'm going to say Control C. I'm going to indent myself just that little bit and push in that CB2 callback 2 function, and which is gonna call up another function, CB3, people. How very amazing. I'm gonna nest again and again, callback, calling another callback, calling another callback. How very amazing. Let's indent this a little bit. Let's just space out properly, remove the extra spaces, and this time, since we had removed the class new class, I'm going to add another class this time. That's going to be new class 1, people. Okay, let me show you which one. This new class 1, changing the color to chocolate and the background color to so and so. Righto. Let's space out properly. Okay, So first adding the class new class, then removing the class new class, then adding another class new class 1 over the same time period, keeping the same easing. But you know, I'm actually requesting for a CB3 function. We'll look at the function CB3 a little later, but before that let's take up a preview after saving the changes. So save the changes, bring up the browser, let's refresh, and let's click the run effect button. Okay, adding and removing one after the other. Okay, there seems to be some problem out here. I can see the font color change but not the background color. Let's see why that is actually happening. Let's get back to this file. So the color is actually there's a problem out here. This should be corn silk and this should be chocolate. So this should be chocolate actually, righto, and this should be corn silk. Rather, let's check it out. Let's be sure. Okay, yep, corn silk, correct. So just made a little error out here. That's corn silk. Sorry. Let's say file and a save, and let's bring up the browser. Let's make sure that everything else has been sorted out. Let's refresh. Let's run the effect. Okay. And yes, I'm convinced that there are no more mistakes anymore. Very cool. Okay, let's get back to the ext.js file and write the nested callback function 3. Okay, just copy up this line, this line, people. Okay, and just push it out here, indent it a little bit, spacing out properly. Okay, and now this is gonna call back the main function color animation, going back to square one, people, like so. Close it up. There's some error. Okay, we don't need this word function at all. Okay, yes, the errors have disappeared, and we are gonna remove the word add and add the word remove. Right. So the class that I'd actually added, I'm going to remove it, and yeah, over the same time period, keeping it linear, and then going back to the main function color animation. Yeah, so that's going to cause the looping. Very cool. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 balancing brackets. Very cool. Let's space it out properly. Okay, and let's put a semicolon out here. Let's space this up. Let's remove the extra spaces, people. Just keeping it compact and effective. Alright. Balancing brackets can be a little bit of a headache sometimes if not done properly. Okay, I'm pretty sure that I've balanced them pretty well. Let's say file, save all. Okay, let's bring up the browser and let's preview it one final time. So refresh, and let's see if the looping actually happens after I hit the run effect button. Yeah, pretty much the way I actually wanted. Pulsating colors, people, going in an endless loop, never-ending loop, and exactly the what I wanted to see. So people, I hope I have managed to offer something useful. I also hope that you'll keep coming back for more and more. You will subscribe, you'll comment too, won't you? You have a good day. Bye bye. Peace.